Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 43 out of 64 from the 2018 FIFA World Cup. This game is Mexico versus Sweden. And here are the two teams lining up for their national anthems. This game is brought to you by me, Luciano, from Luciano Gaming TV. And here is the Swedish national team's national anthem. Sweden in their yellow jersey with the blue cross, created by me because they do not have their real jersey in this game. And they do not show the Mexican national anthem. This game does not show all the national teams' national anthem. There's Mexico starters and reserves. Here's Mexico's starting setup. And here's Sweden's starters and reserves. And Sweden's starting setup. And we're set to kick off, folks. It's Mexico-Sweden Group F match. Game 5 of 6. Game number 43 out of 64. We're getting close to that dream final, which is game number 64, of course. 21 games away from the grand final. Which two teams will play in the grand final? We only have to watch and see, folks. I don't even know.
A good attempt. The ball was at a lovely height too.
So what will happen?
Decisive, no doubt as to who the better side is.
What will happen in this game?
Towards the flank.
We do not know.
Fence has got rid of that. Aimed low and direct. A real chance to break. Pushes it out wide.
So the situation in this group are as follows. Sweden comes into this game with 4 points, with a plus differential of +2 because they won game 1 2-0 versus South Korea, and they tied the second game 1-1 with Germany. So the goal differential is at +2 with 3 scored, 1 given up, and 4 points, while Mexico comes into this game with 1 point, 2 goals scored, and 3 given up. They tied with Germany in game 1 1-1, and they lost to South Korea in game 2 2-1. So their differential. And here comes Mexico with a chance to take the early lead, but no, they did not take the early lead, folks. They were not able to take the early lead.
Looking to break out here.
A Mexican win of 1-0 in this game would put Mexico at 4 points with a goal differential of even 3-3. South Korea has the same exact goal differential that Mexico has, but they have 3 points because they beat Mexico 2-1. Now,
deftly done.
I do not have the tiebreaker set up due to head-to-head, which already happened once already. There was one situation in the previous group where Costa Rica and Serbia finished in a dead heat tie of 4 points, 5 goals scored, 5 goals given up, which means 0 goal differential for both. But the 0 goal differential can be separated apart if the goals scored is different from the other. Like, for example, if a team has 4 goals scored and 4 goals given up, and another team has 3 goals scored and 3 goals given up, they'll give the tiebreaker to the team that has more goals scored. But that was not the situation with Costa Rica and Serbia. They both had 5 goals scored, 5 goals given up. Now, they gave second place to Serbia. I don't know if they gave second place to Serbia because Serbia beat Costa Rica head-to-head, or because they maybe just flip the coin without, you know, because in real life when something like that happens, they would like flip, they would actually literally flip a coin to decide who gets to advance. What a shitty way to advance, and what a shitty way to go out because of a coin. I would make the two teams, you know the way I would do it? I'll put the two teams on the field and have them do a penalty shootout. And that kind of situation, I would have put the two teams back on the field for a penalty shootout to decide second place. Even though, but I guess, you know, the correct way, I guess it would be head to head in that situation. You know, if it's tied like that, it should be head to head. And I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm thinking that that is what happened in Group E. Because the situation was so complex like this. If Brazil would have won by 1-0, if Brazil would have won the game like 1-0, then it would have been Brazil, Costa Rica advancing. Any kind of tie would have been Brazil and Serbia advancing, with Brazil in first, Serbia in second. If Serbia would have won the game by 1 or by 2, either by only 1 or 2.
The whistle goes for half-time. So both sides have drawn blanks.
So here's halftime of game number 43 between Sweden and Mexico, and the score is 0-0, folks, with Mexico with more time of possession.
No goals at this stage, but certainly not devoid of action. It is 0-0 here at half-time.
Mexico would go to 4 points for the win. The goal difference would be even. Sweden's would be +1. They will both be at 4 points. Sweden would be 3.
Plays it forward.
It'd be 3-2 with +1, while Mexico would be 3-3. And then South Korea
goes wide.
Trying to think here.
Out for a throw.
If both of these teams can advance without the other two advancing.
Ball has crossed the line, and it's a throw.
It is possible. It is possible. It is possible for these two teams to advance without the other two advancing. But a score of 2-1 Mexico would not do it, I believe. Mexico would have to win this game by a higher, the game would have to be higher scoring. So that Mexico, because Mexico winning by 1, that would put them tied with South Korea in the goal differential department. And I think that if their goal differential department and their goals scored is exactly the same like it was with Costa Rica and Serbia, I believe that they would give the tiebreaker to South Korea, because South Korea beat Mexico head to head. Now, if Mexico can win this game, let's say 3-2,
really good feet from him.
they would have the same even goal differential, but they would have 4 goals scored and 4 given up. While if Germany beats South Korea by only 1, it would be 3-3 South Korea. And here's a goal from Sweden, Mr. Toivonen. This result puts Sweden in first place for good, if it stands. If it stands. If Mexico comes back and ties the game, then it would leave the door open for Germany to get first place in the group, but Germany would have to beat South Korea by... Germany would have to beat South Korea by 3 goals in order to overtake Sweden for first place. Now, if another scenario is if Mexico can come back and tie the game, then a South Korea win would give South Korea first place, and Brazil and Sweden would finish in second instead, and Sweden would have to face Brazil. So here's the situation: a Mexico win could put South, and there's a goal from Mexico. The game is now tied. It's 1-1, and this result does not qualify Mexico. What it do, it opens up the door for Germany to get first place or South Korea to get first place, which would put Sweden in second, and it would make Sweden play Brazil instead of either Germany or South Korea. But Germany has to win by 2 or 3 goals in order, and while Mexico 2-1 win. In Mexico 2-1 win, if Mexico scores another goal, it would put them at 4-4, right? South Korea is at 2-3. A South Korea, but then yes, that would give the advantage to Mexico, because South Korea is already at 2-3. A win would put them at 3-3, but 6 points. I was thinking that if South Korea would have tied Germany, but now that's not the issue anymore. There was a situation where there could have been a tie in this group, like a tie for second place, just like it was between Serbia and Costa Rica in the other group. But now a tie between Mexico and South Korea can no longer happen in a goal scored and goal differential department, but it can still happen in a goal differential department. But if that happens, it would be in favor of Mexico at the moment if Mexico was to come back and win this game. But it could actually still be tied. South Korea would have to South Korea would have to tie the game, like I think like a tie of 2-2. No, put them because the -1 thing. It's still -1. Yeah, regardless, it would have been Mexico advancing. This group is a little bit complicated to think, because South Korea is in second place with a -1, while Germany is in third place with a even. And Mexico's goals scored and goals given up is the same as South Korea, but the only difference is that South Korea has a win while Mexico only had 1 tie coming into the game. So this result puts Sweden at 5 points with 4 goals scored, 3 goals given up. Germany has 2 goals scored, 2 goals given up, because they tied both of their games at 1.
Concentration levels are very good, and so is the commitment.
So if Germany can score 2 goals, there would be 4-2. Sweden is 4-3. Okay, if the result stands at the way it is, Germany needs to win. Germany needs to win by 2 to overtake Sweden for first place and to avoid a round of 16 date with Brazil. A South Korea win puts South Korea in first place. And here's the end, folks. Here's the end of this game. You see Mexico all sad on the field, which means that they do not advance with this result. It puts Mexico only at 2 points with 2 ties and 1 loss. Goals scored is, I believe, 3 and 4 given up. And Mexico is out. Sweden has 5 points, and they actually are in. They're in. Sweden is in. No matter what the score is between Germany and South Korea. But the only question remains is, what place is Sweden going to be in? Is it going to be first place or second place? Don't know. It all going to come down to that Germany-South Korea match. It's going to come down to that. It's going to come down to the Germany-South Korea match, which you see right there showing on the screen. That is the next game. That is the next game that I will broadcast to you guys, game number 44. Now, it's pretty simple. Germany wins by 2 goals, they get first place. If South Korea win, they get first place. If this game ends in a tie, South Korea advances to second. South Korea advances as second place, Sweden in first. So this group is coming down to these 3 teams. And I am Luciano from Luciano Gaming TV, signing off. Wishing you all a good night. God bless. Peace. See you all next time in this game right here. Germany, South Korea. Who prevails? Wait, watch, see, eat popcorn, enjoy. Because it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to unfold in Group F. See you all next time, folks. This is Lou. Wishing you all, my Lou squad, a happy night. Thank you. Bye-bye.